Amaka's hands trembled as she stared at the big hotel mirror. The makeup on her face was melting under the harsh light. Her rented dress was tighter than she thought. On her phone, a flood of comments popped up under her latest post. Fake life. Caught at last. She's not who she says she is. Her heart pounded. Outside the bathroom door, she could hear the crowd of the networking event still buzzing, and somewhere in that crowd was Femi, the man who thought she was someone else entirely. She leaned on the sink, breathing hard. How did I get here? She thought. When did it all go so wrong? Amaka was a young lady who always wanted more. She lived in a small town with her parents and two siblings. Her brother was doing well in football. Her sister had a good job in Lagos. But Amaka felt nobody noticed her. She was in her second year in school, studying a course she was not sure she liked. When she looked at Instagram, she saw girls her age wearing nice clothes, holding iPhones, driving cars, traveling, and living what they called soft life. Amaka felt small each time she scrolled. One evening, she told herself, I will not look poor online. I will create my own life even if it is fake. From that day, she started building a new life on her phone. She created an Instagram page and named herself Amalux. On that page, she showed only the bright side. She borrowed her friends' bags to take pictures. She used hotel lobbies as background. She posed in front of cars that were not hers. She wrote captions like, "Another weekend in Dubai," even though she had never left Nigeria. Her best friend, Ifeoma, saw everything. Ifeoma worked as a makeup artist and sometimes helped Amaka with photo shoots. She warned her many times. Amma, this is dangerous. You're spending money you don't have. People online don't care. Be careful. But Amaka would smile and say, don't worry. Fake it until you make it. I must look rich first before money comes. As months went by, Amaka's page grew. People began to call her influencer. She began to borrow more clothes and shoes. She took small loans just to buy a new phone because Amalux could not post with an old phone. She even started telling classmates she was working with a big company in Lagos. Some people believed. Then she met Femi. He saw her online and thought she was classy and successful. He sent her a message and they started talking. Femi was a banker and had a good job. When he invited her out, she panicked. She borrowed more clothes, bought expensive makeup, and paid for a taxi she could not afford. She wanted to look exactly like the girl he saw online. When they met, Femi liked her, but noticed she was shy and not like her online posts. She told him more lies about her job and travels. Femi started to suspect something was not right. He still asked her to come for an important networking event at a hotel in Victoria Island. Amaka prepared like never before. She rented a dress for 20,000 naira. She borrowed shoes from Ifeoma. She paid for her hair in installments. By the time she arrived at the hotel, she had less than 500 naira left in her account. She smiled for pictures and tried to talk big, but people asked questions she could not answer. Someone asked for her company's website. Another asked for her business card. She could not provide any. Femi watched her quietly. After the event, Femi took her aside. "Amaka," he said softly, "who are you really?
Because the girl on Instagram is not the same girl here.
That question broke something inside her. She tried to smile, but tears filled her eyes. She told him everything. The lies, the loans, the fake pictures, the pressure. She said she was tired. Femi listened and shook his head. You don't have to lie to be valuable, he said. You are enough the way you are. He gave her transport money and left. Amaka went home shaking. She looked at her phone, at her perfect photos, at her fake life. She opened Instagram and scrolled through her own posts. It felt like she was looking at a stranger. She thought of all the money she had wasted just to impress people who did not know her. She thought of her school fees she had not paid. She felt empty. That night she could not sleep. For the first time she prayed, God, please help me. I don't want to live this way anymore. She cried until morning. Amaka woke up the next morning with swollen eyes. She had cried all night. Her room was quiet except for the buzzing of her phone. She opened Instagram. Messages had started coming in after the event. Some people were already gossiping, saying she was a liar. Some classmates were sending screenshots to each other, laughing at her. Even people she didn't know were calling her fake. It felt like her whole world was crashing. She thought of closing the page and disappearing, but a small voice inside said, start again, but this time with truth. She took a deep breath, deleted most of her pictures, and posted a new one, a simple selfie with no makeup. Her caption was, this is me. No filter, no designer. I have made mistakes, but I want to live real now. The comments poured in. Some mocked her, some encouraged her, many unfollowed. But Amaka felt a strange peace. For the first time, she was not hiding. Days turned to weeks. People in school started pointing fingers, whispering. Some called her the fake influencer. Even on the internet, trolls used her pictures to make jokes. It was painful, but Amaka refused to give up. She stopped borrowing clothes. She stopped taking loans. She sat down with Ifeoma one evening and said, I want to learn real skills. Help me. Ifeoma smiled and hugged her. That's the Ama I know. Together, they started planning. Amaka enrolled in a small digital marketing course online. She learned about social media strategy, content creation, and how to grow a brand without lying. She began using her page to share honest tips, show behind the scenes of her learning, and encourage other young people who felt pressure to fake a life. At first, her views were small, but slowly people started respecting her honesty. They saw how open she was about her mistakes. They saw she was really learning. Brands that liked transparency began to notice her. She got small offers to make posts about real products she actually used. Femi never left her side. Even when people laughed at her, he would send her encouraging messages. Sometimes he would buy her internet data or pay for a small course. He would call and say, Ama, you are more than likes. Keep going. He never judged her. He only wanted her to grow. One evening, Amaka sat under the school's big mango tree and told Femi, I feel ashamed that you still talk to me after everything. Femi smiled. I am not here for Ama looks. I am here for Amaka, the real one. Months passed. Amaka's small, honest page started to grow again, but this time in the right way. She posted simple outfits, school struggles, how she balanced studying with learning digital marketing. People loved her realness. They sent messages like, you encourage me, and thank you for being honest. She was becoming what she had pretended to be, an influencer, but now one with truth and values. One day, a big online store reached out to her. They wanted her to manage their social media for a small salary. It was not huge money, but it was real work. Amaka accepted. She started earning her own income. She paid off her small debts one by one. She began saving. She even gave her parents some money to help at home. Her classmates who had mocked her started to respect her. Some came to ask how she was doing it. She would smile and say, honesty and hard work. Start small, be real.
She and Ifeoma also started a small side business helping people create honest content. It grew slowly but surely. Amaka bought her own phone with her own money. She even saved to travel to Abuja for a workshop, her first real trip. She posted about it online with pride. Femi was there through it all. Sometimes they fought. Sometimes Amaka felt discouraged, but he would say, "Look how far you have come. Don't go back to lies. Keep shining." 2 years later, Amaka stood on a stage at a youth event in Lagos, speaking to hundreds of students about building a true life online. She told them her story, the lies, the pain, the lessons, the change. She told them it's better to grow slowly and honestly than to live a fake life and crash. The peace of being real is bigger than the pressure of pretending. People clapped, and some even cried. As she stepped down from the stage, Femi met her with a big smile. "See, I told you," he said. Amaka laughed. "Thank you for never giving up on me." They walked out of the hall together, the sun shining on their faces. Amaka had become what she once dreamed of, an influencer. But this time, not with fake designer bags or borrowed cars. She was an influencer of truth, hard work, and courage. Her life was not perfect, but it was real, and that gave her peace. And deep in her heart, she knew this truth. When you stop living to impress people and start living to improve yourself, you find real happiness. When you choose honesty over fake appearance, you may lose followers at first, but you gain respect, peace, and a future that no one can take from you.